the public's health to identify this person of interest, and they tweeted that picture out. We can show you here. Take a close look at this individual. If anyone recognizes him, the FBI wants you to call 1-800-CALL-FBI, and they say no tip is too big or too small. They are looking literally for any kind of information you might have. Now, here's the latest that we've learned so far. Investigators say they've been able to track the suspect's movement through stairwells to the roof where they believe the shooting took place. Then he was believed to have jumped off the building's roof and moved away from campus, and they believe he could now be in a nearby neighborhood. They say they have good video, images, and impressions, and have recovered the alleged weapon that fired the fatal shot.
It is a high-powered bolt-action rifle. That rifle was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled. The FBI laboratory will be analyzing this weapon. Investigators have also collected footwear impression, a palm print, and forearm imprints for analysis.
Now, about those messages, John, multiple sources confirmed to Fox that investigators are looking at what appears to be written messages on both the gun and the ammunition. The content of the messages is unclear, and the FBI is not commenting, and we're getting that better visual at where investigators believe the shot came from. They've zeroed in on the rooftop of this building you see here on the right of your screen, the Low C Center on campus. It is about 200 yards away from where Charlie was speaking, under a tent in an open area, with the shooter having a potential direct line of sight. Now we are awaiting that press conference, John, which we thought would be in about 40 minutes from now, but we're getting word just at the moment that that may be being pushed back. So we're watching and waiting. John?
All right, Griff Jenkins with the latest for us. Griff, thank you for the update. Appreciate it. Sandra?
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley.
All right, ladies and gents, as you can see, they think he came off of the roof, walked across the street, dumped the rifle wrapped up in a towel, and continued on his way to the subdivision. So it's very well possible they're storming this area looking for any ringtone cameras. I imagine they'll track him right down to wherever he went or to a vehicle. Now they're showing photos of a ladder that was up against the building, but I don't know if that, if that was a ladder I don't think so, because if you look at that building, like Brian Denton is showing, you could jump off that roof on that side because there's an incline there, a hill that runs up the side of the building. So yeah, I can see how they think that's how he got up there, climbed the tree and jumped on there and jumped right off. Not very big of an incline. Let's see if we can see a ground view of this. Here's the building. Will it show us a ground view? Let me use a ground view is my question. How do I get this dang thing to work? me see. Let me see what it'll give me. Well, it's not giving me a ground view. Well, let me see if I do something here, if it'll let me do it. Aha. See, this is where I'm talking about, where you probably can't see this, but hold on a minute. Right here. Right here is probably where they're jumped off, because that ladder is over here. Wow, you see that? There's another one of them boxes with a cross on top of it. A square with a cross on top of it. But it's also right here on top of the building. So it won't give me ground level, I don't think. Will it? No, it won't. Let me do that. All right, so there you go. I think he walked off into the subdivision. They'll find him. I wonder if he'll use face recognition. They got to know who he is. Once they know who he is, they'll be able to search and see if he had a cell phone. Right? That'll also ID him. If he did have a cell phone with him, very well possible. He was ready and didn't bring no cell phone with him. Why? Well, because you could be tracked that way. Right? If they went ahead and shot a ping over there and his phone showed up there, once they find out who he is, that's another part of evidence. If they ping his phone and it's right there. And so he might have came prepared and didn't have any kind of communication. What was his communication? When to take the shot, if that was it, if he was coached. There could be many people involved. Hand signs. That was his signal to take the shot. I know it sounds crazy, but if they wanted to pull this off without any hitch and any kind of tracking back to anybody, he didn't have a cell phone. He went off of hand signs, head nods, tug of an air. It's possible. It's possible. I'm no professional, but it's possible. Well, if this don't open up the world's eyes, I don't know what will. And he was a civilian, although there was rumors that he was an activist for politics and religion and stuff. Put both of them together, yikes. We don't know. This dude could have been at work. Once he came off this roof, either he went into the woods, dumped the rifle. He could have walked back into this building. He could have been on lunch break. Don't know. All you can do is let them do their jobs, and they're doing it well. They've been tracking them. I imagine it won't be long, and we'll be hearing they have them. Now, whether he's the shooter or not, I don't know. Whoever the guy is they're looking for. That's a very low roof. There's no roof line on it. So it's very well possible the person that we seen laying on the roof in them other videos was him, possibly covered in a tarp. Possibly, I don't know. It looks like to me like he had a backpack on or something. Whoever that dark shadow was that was running across the roof line there. Looked like they had something, backpack or something, but I don't know. It's pretty crazy if you ask me. How many people involved? Well, we don't know. There could be many. If they don't have any cell phone data on him, then we know he was there without any communication, and that was to cover his tracks. If anyone was helping him and they were spotters at that event, and they were there just to spot and give him the signal of when to go, when to take the shot, then there could have been many people there. The old man that started a altercation, no, that could have been a diversion. Now, I'm not saying 100% that, but it could have been. If this was as high as they're saying that it was a political thing, then yes, there would have been people there to divert people away, right? Send a guy on a bicycle with a pellet gun, riding through there. There's the shooter, and they pick him up, but it wasn't him. They already picked up 2 people, I think. And they released both of them, saying that they had nothing to do with it. Well, that's possible too. I'm always keep an open mind. So what are we covering here? Well, a giant subdivision. Look at it. Take your pick of where the dude went. You don't know. He could have had a bike stashed over here after he come off of that roof right there. Crossed the Campus Drive Road. He could have walked in there, had a bicycle, motorcycle, anything. And that's the area you're covering. I mean, that's a huge area. But is it possible that's what happened? Oh, heck yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got your work cut out. You're going to have to, and you should be going to the public right now and asking them to check their security cameras and check their ringtones. That's a lot of ground to cover. I'd come out into the public and ask, you live in this subdivision and you see anybody fitting this description or anything, or any crazy stuff going on, can you please send us your ringtone or whatever to the police department or whatever. But that's a lot of area to cover. I don't know. They might be bringing a bunch of, FBI or agents out, police knocking on doors in them areas. And very crazy. Very, very, that's how easy it is. And he just walks away into the subdivision. He could have had a car parked there. He could have walked in one of these houses, motorcycle parked somewhere, a bicycle, jumped on it and just rode like he was just a young teen. We don't know. I'm glad they're on it, though, this fast and coming up with this kind of, believe it or not, folks, some of the stuff that's been going on and the government's not a year later, 3 years later. They've been getting these guys within weeks, months, a year. That's pretty good. I mean, I think it's pretty good. But that also is helping. Uh, the cameras and security and people. You see something, say something. Public is also a big part of solving these cases, or uh, bringing attention to these cases, or solving it by having a video or something of something that had happened that was bad. So I think it's a collaboration of public, of the citizens and government and police working together that have solved these cases pretty fast. Like the stabbing, the Devil's Den stabbing, wasn't long, and they had him. Wasn't long at all. And if it wasn't for them people's public security camera that picked his car up driving, they would have had no idea, right? They would have had, it would have took longer to solve. So I think it's a good idea, and everything in 2025 and beyond will be about security and surveillance. I imagine they do have footage. I imagine here soon we'll see more footage of ringtones or business security cameras, picking them up, and they'll probably track him right to his front door or right to the vehicle or whatever. Maybe he walked away, and after he did this, maybe he did have a cell phone on him, but it was shut off, possibly. He didn't want to send no signal that he was there, but after he took the shot and felt like he was safe, then maybe he turned his phone on. And they might still be able to get him on that, if it pings somewhere in that neighborhood. Man, JLR's been live all day on it. All day. Oh, it's a 16-year-old. All right, folks, hold on a minute. Let's go to somewhere.
Their lockdown drill. We know that the suspect had a handgun. He had to keep reloading. He would fire and reload, fire and reload, fire and reload. This went on and on. And as he did that, he tried to find new targets. And he came up against a roadblock on many of those doors. He couldn't get to those kids. So there's not enough to be said for the work that the teachers, the coaches, the staff, the students, lots of kids ran, but the ones who didn't were locked down and they were being cared for. So really, really proud of those people today. We have security at both of the hospitals where our victims are, still in critical condition. No one has been released. There was information yesterday that one of the two victims was released from Children's, and that's not true. Bear with me, lots of notes. We have a great deal of support from so many jurisdictions, but FBI's role here has been tremendous. Their ERT. We also have lab work being done, scene processing from Arvada. God, I'm sorry, it's somewhere in my notes. Arvada and NCIS. which was a new one for me, and multiple other agencies, because there's so many crime scenes within the school and outside the school. Yesterday, I think I stated that it stayed on school property. It did not. It actually spilled out into the street behind the school. So we have an additional crime scene. I think the street is called Olive, where one of the students was running to. We are allowing kids and teachers and parents who are in the west lot to come and get their cars. You have to go to the location that we've already given, which is Bergen Meadows Elementary.
All right. So when did Charlie's happen? Was it yesterday or the day before? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying. I'm just wondering. Where did this happen? There in Utah, Colorado. I mean, who knows? Is it possible? Same person? I don't know. It could be possible. How far is it? I don't know. I know JLR was talking about you could be in Colorado within an hour. You could be, you know, Vegas within 5 hours from Utah or whatever. No, I don't know. It's pretty crazy. This is just too much. My condolences to these people that are in the, 16-year-old. Let's watch the rest of it.
You have to have a key. So if you were a student who ran out of the school and you don't have the keys to your car, we can't let you into the school to get your keys. But if you have a key in hand, please go there. We'll bus you down here because we have a lot of cars. You can see them behind me that we need to get moved out. The rec center parking lot also was locked down, and we're allowing people who had vehicles in the rec center parking lot to get their vehicles as well. The other lot at the school, east side, is not available for release yet. Let's see here. We know that both victim families plan to release a photo of their child today and a statement from the families. I'm not sure when that's coming. I think
the beginning.
All right, there's the face of the Evergreen High School shooter. Has been identified as 16-year-old Desmond Holly. I don't know. Pull up that. Where's the other photo of the Charlie Kurtz? Put some glasses on that kid. I know he looks 16, but some of the people that are in college ain't but 17, 18. Some of these real smart dudes. Yo, Mid-Michigan, what's up? Any connection with any of all this other madness that's going around? I don't know, maybe. There just might be, who knows? This younger generation is just a little bit too much. But they got their work cut out for him if he did disappear into that subdivision right there. Well, I was under attack these past couple days or something, but I'm hanging in there, dude. In some pain, but I'm all right, I guess. I'm alive. It's better than being dead. All right, so what do we got? Well, we got him coming off of the building. Okay, we catch him. Charlie's over here. Here's the walkway. Inside this walkway here, we zoom in more. And this is all glass. So there's people in here recording. Okay, Charlie's down here in this little Pentagon area or whatever, in his tent. We got people up here that are filming, and they happen to catch somebody darting away this way. Okay. I don't know if you can see that. He jumps off of the building over here because there's an incline where the ground gets real close to the roof over here. So he jumps off the roof. He walks over to the woods here, dumps the weapon, and continues to walk on into the subdivision. Now, does it make sense to me? Sure. He might not have drove out of there, walked into the subdivision, maybe a car parked in the street over there, waiting for him. Yeah, very possible. Bicycle, motorcycle. He could walk right into someone's house that he knew there. Waited until it got calm, waited till dark, and then left that house and went on his way somewhere else. Let me see what's going on in chat. It's going to get crazy soon. Yeah, well, they're up in Chicago and everything, and now everybody's going, what is going on? Well, that's the United States military. I suggest you just stay in your house. Go out only if you have to go to work, or go pick your kids up from school, or grocery shopping, and do that and go home. And you're safer at home. People of Chicago, you're safer at home. You see the videos they're making in Chicago, Michigan, of these younger guys saying they're not afraid of the United States Mother Green? Are you kidding me? Don't they know they don't even have our government don't even have to pull a trigger? There's new devices and everything. You can be walking down the road and get hit with a sound device and it just turn your body into a blob. I don't know. This is crazy. I wouldn't take the chance. I just wouldn't. But so, what do you think, Mid-Michigan? You think there's a good chance they're on him? That they are? They know he walked away and walked into the subdivision. He had to. Maybe he did jump in the car after he ditched the weapon, wrapped it up in a towel. Maybe he did have help or something. Maybe he thought he was going to get away with this and they weren't going to find a weapon or nothing. Very crazy. Very crazy. But, who knows? There's a lot of surveillance everywhere. And good, there should be. People complaining about it. Listen, people, we're not looking for people walking down the street smoking a doobie, having a great day. We're not looking for somebody sitting on their front porch drinking a beer. This ain't what it's about, right? These are people that have taken they're insurgents. They were gangs. That's true. They were United States gangs or whatever. But they've over the years, now they're insurgents, terrorists, from what the government's saying, and I believe it. But there ain't no way they can put up with they got to be half crazy. They got to be half crazy to go up against the military. You got to be crazy, and they are. They have to be. To be threatening Trump and the United States military, that's not come to my city. Are you crazy? They'll eliminate that city. Don't you see what's going on in the rest of the world? You're going to cry, but I'm going to tell you exactly what my Pentagon is going to tell you. Your casualties of war. We just wiped out Chicago completely. Casualties of war. That's how we conquer countries. That's the thought of a military man. They're on a mission. Took an oath to this country, to the civilians, to the children. Are you kidding me? They'll if they have to, they'll rebuild Chicago. But first, they're going to take it down. Have the cameras ready. I think they're crazy. Mid-Michigan, what do you think? I can't believe they're doing that. But to each their own. Go right ahead if that's what you feel like you want to do. Take a shot at one of the National Guards or something. Go right ahead. Don't come here after you do. I'll tell you that. Don't come around here. I wouldn't even do that. I'm suggesting you don't, because that'd be one of the stupidest thing you folks could ever do. I mean, you're some bad mofos in Chicago, but you're talking now the United States military. And let me tell you how good these guys are, right? Let me tell you how good they are. You're going to go to the store, right? You're going to come home think everything is good. But little do you know, our cloaking system that we have, the uniforms for our military, he's standing right there in your bedroom waiting for you to lay in your bed, and you turn the lights off and it's over with. You don't even see him, because that's how our technology has gone. People are like, I seen something. It's like Predator against Alien. I seen something in the tree. You did. And that was one of our best of our best. You can't see them because our new uniforms, you people are going to be flipped out. This shit's right out of Stargate. Yeah, it is. You should be listening to your brothers in Chicago that are on social media telling you don't piss off the United States military. They're there 1 second and gone the next. If you step outside and you hear the wind blow, it's already too late. You're dead. They think it's a joke. You know how many countries we've conquered? And then the one dude did a video saying, I'm looking at these guys. They don't look in good shape. I think we can Are you crazy? Yeah, he's skinny. You're right. He's only 100-pound soldier. He'll wipe you out. Probably 50 others too. He's trained to be. He's a little monster. I don't think you think it's going to be hand-to-hand combat. You ain't even going to get close enough to these guys. You think he's just 100-pound, 120-pound soldier? Yeah, trained to slice, dice, and memorize. Are you crazy? You guys, they're crazy. They're completely crazy. I keep the cameras rolling. This is going to be interesting. Right? I'd be listening to your own colors out there in Chicago. Do the right thing and just chill out. I know someone's going to take a shot at one of these guys. It's just going to open up into a full blown Apaches. We're talking there are already warhogs flying around in the sky. A guy did a video this morning in Chicago in a F-16 or 17 or whatever it was, a warhog or something. Flew right through the city there, low level. The dude's looking up going, holy shit, they weren't joking. No, they're not joking. No. I don't think you folks know. The United States and President Trump and Mother Green don't joke. They just don't. This is gonna be crazy. So what do we got? We got a guy on the run. I know they know who he is because I know the government, and it's just a matter of time that they get to him. I imagine somebody will recognize the photo and they will turn him in himself once they find out that what's going on in the world and how many agents are going to be invading this small area of a campus. I imagine they're going to probably someone will turn him in, if not his own family. And that's what I would be telling the turn him in. Don't make it hard on you, and if you're helping this guy run, if you're helping him evade police and stuff, you can get in serious trouble. You got a big area to cover here with a subdivision. Did you know that AI uses Wi-Fi signals in your home to map for images without actual cameras? Yeah, well, they can see me. They don't need AI. We've had technology for many years, probably over 20 years, to look right inside your house as you're sitting there, right through the wall, right through your roof, right through the insulation. People think that's a joke. I'm like, that's no joke, man. I can see right through your house. People are like, you can't point cameras at a house. They don't need to. They don't need to point anything. We already have it in the sky. They can look at any property. They can look through any house and know exactly what you're cooking for dinner and what you're doing and what you're watching on TV from the sky. Just from the sky. They don't need a ground camera or anything like that to do. They have them, but they don't need them. I mean, they could do it from the sky. But they do have ground cameras where, yeah, they can look right through your house. Right through walls, folks, doors. Yeah. Now that's infrared. I don't know if they can get a clear image of you. But what they can do is see through your walls with infrared to be able to tell where you're sitting before they bust the doors down and stomp your ass. They already know. They'll know exactly. Oh, he just walked into the bathroom, stormed the place. Boom. Oh, that's how good they are. You ain't never going to beat the government. Do you think if some gang was able to beat the government would still be around? Are you kidding me? These people are crazy. Let it be for YouTube records, government records, military records. These people are crazy. They're crazy. Yep. Way more advanced now. Oh, yeah. That was 20, 30 years ago. We can see through houses, see through buildings and stuff. 20, 30 years ago, folks. Do you know what they could do now? I can tell you how good they are. An FBI agent wipes my butt every time I go take a poop. Yeah. I don't know where they got them, but somehow a hand pops up and wipes my ass. Yeah, that's how good they are. That's why they call them frogs, because that dude probably sat in that toilet for, I don't know, a year. But that's how good they are. We're not the baddest. No one is the baddest except for God Almighty, King of Kings, Jesus, the number one war king. Second is the United States military. And they've lost wars. But if you think you're going to take on Chicago or something, or all the 100,000 gangs or whatever in America, they're going to lose. Our military is precision. We know exactly where people are before anything happens. I can tell you this much: our people are within your gangs already, waiting for you idiots to just pop up. That's what these guys don't even understand. We're already in your gang. We know exactly who your leader is. We know exactly everything. Make a move, and your own gang member that's standing right by you might be a United States soldier. Pop! I think you boys got yourselves into a massive, massive, massive problem. And I would do the right thing and chill and just go away. Provoking the United States military. They're crazy. They're literally crazy. Well, let's see if we can think. Don't listen to me. I'm an idiot. I'm just a YouTube tough guy behind a keyboard. That's it. I'm nothing. Don't listen to me. Go ahead. Make that mistake. Make that mistake and draw a weapon upon thy mother green and buck kicking machine. And we're going to have a bunch of, I hope we got a bunch of body bags, government. We're going to need them. because I know my mother green's going to go through them like water. So get the body bags ready. All right, so let's get back to this kid, 16 years old, Desmond Holly. Is it the same guy? I don't know. We'll see. Any connection throughout this? I don't know. They're saying the guy that did the shooting at Charlie's was young. That's how he fit in. Could have been high schooler. And dressed like he was in college, came to college, yeah. Yeah, very much. End times are upon us, maybe. FAF off. I don't know what that means. I'm not good at abbreviations. Is that me you want to FAF off? I don't know. I'm not sure, Mid-Michigan. I'm dumb, so. I keep telling people, don't use big words around here. Oh, wow. All right, let's check this out still.
Let's listen in.
Probably the most important thing I can tell you today is that the students and the staff at the school were amazing. They did their job, they did it well, and lives were saved yesterday because of the actions they took during their lockdown drill. We know that the suspect had a handgun. He had to keep reloading. He would fire and reload, fire and reload, fire and reload. This went on and on. And as he did that, he tried to find new targets. And
meet X-Tool F2 Ultra, the first dual laser engraver powered by AI. With a 60-watt...
He came up against a roadblock on many of those doors. He couldn't get to those kids. So,
well, that's good. He couldn't get to them kids. Good. Yeah, Mid-Michigan, you just were talking about AI. God dang, AI is going to be in everything. Just a matter of time. It's like cars and computers and everything, right? There were certain things on cars they should have just left without computers, right? Because if one sensor goes down, you can't drive the car. One sensor goes down, you can't even get in the car. One chip or something. Some of these things, they shouldn't have been computerized. If people ain't, strong enough to push a button or pull a lever in a car, how lazy have we become? I mean, I love technology, but you're dealing now with, after they built all this technology, they didn't even know that it was acceptable to solar flares and frequencies and stuff. So now we have all this stuff, but we didn't line it properly when we built it. So it is acceptable to impulse weaponry. It is acceptable to sun flares, which are gamma rays, which are radio signal, which everything, I don't know, it's just crazy. Maybe it's me. But then again, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm crazy. Who ain't now these days?
So there's not enough to be said for the work that the teachers, the coaches, the staff, the students, lots of kids ran, but the ones who didn't were locked down and they were being cared for. So really, really proud of those people today. We have security at both of the hospitals where our victims are, still in critical condition. No one has been released. There was information yesterday that one of the 2 victims was released from Children's, and that's not true. Bear with me, lots of notes. We have a great deal of support from so many jurisdictions, but FBI's role here has been tremendous. Their ERT. We also have lab work being done, scene processing from Arvada. God, I'm sorry, it's somewhere in my notes. Arvada and NCIS, which was a new one for me, and multiple.
Well, NCIS. Ain't that a movie or a TV program or something? Which she's like, that was shocking to me. Well, yeah, they're even real. Everyone's like, it's just a TV program. Not no more. I told you movies are real. People don't want to listen. TV shows are real. What you're watching is not real. It's all staged, scripted, fake. But the situation, the story is real. The movie, the story is real, but the movie you're watching, well, no one died in that. It's all movies and fake and everything. That's true, but the storyline was real and it happened in real life. And people can't fathom it. It's not real. It is real. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre was a real movie. Right? The movie was fake, but it was actually a real guy, a real family, and they did chop people up. That's true. I don't know. They don't understand it. They just don't get it. Uncle Joe Walsh did. I don't get it. I don't either. But it's real. That's what we're trying to tell people. And this is something right out of a movie, what we're seeing, right?
Multiple other agencies, because there's so many crime scenes within the school and outside the school. Yesterday, I think I stated that it stayed on school property. It did not. It actually spilled out into the street behind the school. So we have an additional crime scene. I think the street is called Olive, where one of the students was running to.
Just one 16-year-old kid with a pistol and a bunch of ammo. And he just tore the shit up out of everything. Yeah. Wow. And I hate to say it, but these kids might be being coached. Right? It's just like what we're looking at now. They're saying it was a younger person that did it. That fit right in. Right? He might have been 16, 17. He might not even been a college person. He might have been recruited to someone to, he might have been MK'd Ultra to do this. What do I think? I don't know. We'll see if he had a cell phone or not. If the kid didn't have a cell phone, if they're saying it's a younger person that came up onto campus and blended in like he was on campus and somebody that went to that college, then yeah, it's very possible. He came there to do a mission. Probably didn't have a cell phone. Probably went off on hand signs. Might have had a spotter. Might have had people that were walking around to try and divert. Anything's possible. For these people to say, oh, it's all a conspiracy. I keep telling you folks, when you stop believing in conspiracy is when you're going to get hit in real life with a conspiracy and end up dead. And it'll be a conspiracy. Everything's a conspiracy. No, it is. Somewhere down the road, there's someone conspiring to kill you. There's someone conspiring to spread lies about you. There's someone conspiring to wreck your world or whatever. Conspiracies are real. You can think they're not, but I'm not that dumb. Let me see what Michigan's saying. Introduction through schools and social media. Yeah. pretty crazy. It's just all too much. My stomach's all bound up.
We are allowing kids and teachers and parents who are in the west lot to come and get their cars. You have to go to the location that we've already given, which is Bergen Meadows Elementary. You have to have a key. So if you're a student who ran out of the school and you don't have the keys to your car, we can't let you into the school to get your keys. But if you have a key in hand, please go there. We'll bus you down here because we have a lot of cars. You can see them behind me that we need to get moved out. The rec center parking lot also was locked down, and we're allowing people who had vehicles in the rec center parking lot to get their vehicles as well. The other lot at the school, east side, is not available for release yet. Let's see here.
Conspiracy truth, yeah. Well, you know, what can you say? There's really nothing you can. I don't know. Let's see if we got anything else popping off. I know there's a shooting somewhere in Boston or something, or another shooting in some. This is just crazy. It's just popping off everywhere. I knew something was going on. It was just too quiet. It was too quiet in America. Well, we didn't have anything going on. Whenever it gets like that, we know something's up. I think Trump's so tired. He's falling asleep at his own meetings. He's 70-some years old, people. Hold on a minute, folks. Hold on. Income. All right, where were we? Yeah, even Trump's tired, man. Did you see him at the 9/11 thing there sitting next to Melania? He was dozing off. Sad state of affair our nation is. Yeah, well, you know, he needs a break. He's gonna have to stay home in the White House for a while. He's gonna have to rest. Cripey, you know, 24/7 he's going. You can't do that. I mean, it's hard. Even the best of the presidents had to sleep once in a while, right? All right, hold on. I'm looking for some new stuff here. Okay, Colorado high school shooter suspect identified by multiple people. That I got it.
10:20 this morning, and we have a breaking news update on the shooting at Evergreen High School. 9 News Investigates has just
The shooter's name was Desmond Hawley. We have been told that Desmond Hawley was 16 years old. And just to recap here, he is the shooter who shot 2 students at Evergreen High School yesterday, shot 2 students, and then eventually turned the gun on himself. About 7 o'clock last night, we got news that the shooter in this case died at the hospital at St. Anthony's Hospital in Lakewood. And we now know that shooter is 16-year-old Desmond Hawley. We also understand that law enforcement did execute a search warrant at a home in the area near Evergreen yesterday. And this investigation obviously is going to continue for many, many weeks, many, many months. And there are still a lot of unknowns. But at this point, we have the identity of the shooter, and that is a 16-year-old boy. As for the 2 other students, we do understand as of this morning, one remained in critical condition, and the other student has been released from the hospital. From what we understand, each of those students suffered with gunshot wounds. So we will continue working on this story, and we'll hopefully have more information as the day progresses. Eric.
Now, what are you saying, Michigan? What's going on? Is that what JLR is covering right now? I know there was another shooting at a school or something like that. Something happening at DNC right now. Beautiful weather we are having right now. Yeah, it was pretty warm today. I think tomorrow we got another nice day coming. I'm not sure. I'll have to check the weather, but if we do, I think I'm going to sit out and get some sun. Don't forget, folks, to get as much sun as you can now because winter's coming. And we won't be able to get out there and be golden brown and tan. So get out while you can. Get as much sun as you can. Get that color because we'll be probably having winter where we're inside. I'm preparing for that. I don't have to go out too much in the winter time. I got to stock up on guitar strings, some guitar stuff, and video games in case it gets real bad and I'm locked down, food and stuff. I'm getting ready for winter. Hopefully, I make it through winter. What's going on at where? What happened? Mid-Michigan, what happened? Let me see what's going on. Here we come, marching down the street. Everybody was everybody. Their deadly Colorado shooting, 3 students, including suspect in critical condition. He died. Freshman recalls. Okay, we got something new. Kurt's assassin case coming together quickly. It is. Oh, here's that dang game Debbie likes. Badlands 4. All right, hold on. Let's jump over here. This was just released. Stuff's happening everywhere. Yeah, it's popping up again everywhere pretty much. I wonder if it has anything to do with the heat now. Right? I think we have a couple days here of real hot weather, 80, 90 degree weather. All right, let's listen to this, see what's up.
FBI investigator Bill Daly also with us. Bill, what are you thinking based on the information that we have gleaned at this point, with the idea that more to come in the hour ahead?
Mm-hmm. Well, John, first of all, this is a person that somebody knows. They either related to him, they've gone to school with him, they work with him, he lives down the hall, he lives down the street. So I certainly implore people to call 1-800 call FBI with any leads they may have when they look at this picture. I could also tell you, as this case is coming together, we're seeing, these images. We have now apparently some palm prints. We have some arm prints that have been perhaps taken off the roof. We have a gun that may or may not hold any DNA or fingerprints themselves. So the case is coming together fairly quickly. The question would be, where is this individual? As they look for him, once they get the name and once they get perhaps even more concrete or clearer pictures, they can send across for Ebola, be on the lookout to all police agencies. The question would be, how far did he get in the past almost 24 hours?
So, I mean, I'm thinking this is just a monumental task, but there are really experienced, smart people that are leading this manhunt and this investigation right now. And you think about the vast space that they have to deal with here. You have the immediate campus, right? The wooded areas, the neighborhoods surrounding it. But then as we were just going through the maps with Joe Cardinale earlier, there's close proximity to an airport, to a train station, easy access to the highways, waterways, I mean, there's a million different ways that this person could have gotten away and gone really far, really fast.
Absolutely. And if we kind of harken back to what's going on now down in Florida with the trial of this guy, Ruth, who is alleged the alleged assassin of attempted assassin of Donald.
All right, let's look at this. You see this? All right, there's Charlie, the UVU courtyard, which was a very beautiful courtyard, man. That would have been a beautiful place to have some acoustic bands playing there. I bet you that would have sounded beautiful. But you have Charlie down there in the hole, right? Now, anywhere above that ground level, now you have to remember, you got to be up high enough where you're not going to hit, where your shot is not going to take someone else out before it hits its real target. So they definitely had to be up high enough. And they had to be high enough where they would be able to clear. I wonder if this guy was able to see him through the tent, right? Because they had that big tent coming down. That's what I'm wondering about. They had that huge tent. He was under the tent, sitting towards the back of the tent. Are you capable of doing that? Are they really looking at this? Did you get a guy up there with a scope and lay down on the corner of that, set that tent up, and see if you can even get a clear shot? You have to remember there's people standing. He's down in that cubby down there with a giant tent over him. Something up. I don't know. Get up there on the top of that building, leave the tent up, set a dummy up where Charlie was, and see if you are even able to see Charlie through the tent. People to get that shot. Maybe that's why that shot was off, because he just guessed and got lucky. Maybe it's possible. Let's see what Mid-Michigan's saying. Debbie must work today's. I'm not sure where Deb's is. I don't know. I had to work the other day. I had to cut a yard. Went out into public. I shouldn't have. I think every kind of demonic demon attacked me or whatever. I'm not sure, but yeah, you know, I'm just asking. I'm just saying. That's all. I'm just saying. Now, are you even sure that he wasn't so far up that you couldn't even see Charlie through the tent? I don't know. Pretty crazy. Let's continue watching.
Trump is that he was caught some 50 miles away when he was identified, or the vehicle he was in identified fairly quickly. So we just don't know how far away this person may have gotten. And I think once they have all that concrete information with regard to name, clear pictures, I think it will certainly help identify where he may be, and more people can have eyes and ears looking for him. You know, this is certainly something the FBI does very well. The FBI does a very great job in investigating these crime scenes and working with local agencies and pulling it together. As you could imagine, we now have several crime scenes that need to be looked at, and all that information needs to be gathered, not just to find this individual who's responsible, but also later on for prosecution. As we've seen in other cases where later on the defense attorneys make motions to dismiss certain amount of evidence because it wasn't gathered properly, or there wasn't a chain of custody, or it wasn't, examined by authorities or people who had the expertise to. So they had to be very careful in pulling this together, and that is something that the FBI can work with the state and local agencies in doing quite well.
Not only do you have transportation readily available, but just on the other side of Orem, you've got the Wasatch Range of mountains. And as we saw after the Atlanta bombing back in 1996, Eric Rudolph eluded capture for a number of years. It's possible that this person could have fled into the wilderness as opposed to into the urban areas.
You're certainly right, John, and that's something.
I'm sure that's true.
They're looking at it. They have these now impressions apparently of some footwear that he had. And they're also probably looking even further out. So there's a lot of other things going on simultaneous to.
Well, I can't say they're not that ain't possible. It is possible he took off into the mountain range. It's nothing but mountains around there. And there might be a cave or something out there that he knows about that not many people know about. He's shacked up in the cave, much like a terrorist when we were at war. Desert Storm and stuff. They were hiding in the mountains and the caves. That's very possible. I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say, no, it's impossible. There's no ways in the mountains. But it's very possible. Very possible he did go through that subdivision, jumped in a car, and went out to the mountains. Yeah. You know, I keep telling people have an open mind because when the devil's involved in the details, anything is possible. Anything. Right? There's already people saying this was a politic hit from politicians themselves. That's possible. It's a religion thing. Yes, it's possible. It was a gang thing. The gangs did it. It's possible. For people to say, oh, that's impossible, them are the people that have no idea or no business being in any kind of law or anything really, because they don't have an open mind. A lot of, them people don't understand that anything is possible if you got the right people in the right place at the right time. I mean, they'll steal millions from it. I'm here to tell you, they'll steal all kinds of, they'll get lookalikes. They'll do all kinds of stuff. Debbie's probably plowing the back 40 somewhere in Michigan, mid-Michigan. She's probably doing some work or something, cutting acres of land or something, or feeding the pigs or cows. Shooter probably picked up and flew out of Provo Airport on a private jet. I don't know. It's possible. It's possible that even if it was a private jet, I think last night they already talked about that they know exactly a jet might have landed before and a jet took off afterwards, and that'll all be documented. Even though it's a private jet, it'll be on radar. They'll see it on radar. So even if they didn't log in, let anyone know, they'll pull up radar data and they'll see every plane that was flying in that area. They'll know exactly. Look, this plane was there, but we got no radio contact. We got no log contact of any of them coming in. But yet here we got it on radar. Oh, bingo. I mean, that's how good they are. Yeah, Debbie left me mid-Michigan. She left me for, I do believe it was a rooster that she was raised, or she raised it or something like that. I'm not sure. It was a giant rooster or something. But I don't blame her. I'd love that rooster too. But I think she's working. I'm not sure. Maybe she did leave me. Hopefully she comes back one day. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll just have to see. God bless her, though. She'll be back. Somehow I feel she can see me and hear me right now, out there somewhere, wherever she's in. Let's continue.
To what we're being told. So I'm sure they're looking at all of these locations. They're looking for vehicles that may have been parked further out into the woods that he may have used, whether ATVs, whether it's a motor vehicle, whether it's a motorcycle, to be able to kind of get further away. And so, without kind of divulging some of the other technology they use, but there's certainly a lot of good tracking information that's gathered electronically. And they can use that, whether it's from vehicles, whether it's from phones. There's a number of things out there that I'm sure they're looking at right now, because time is of the essence in capturing this individual.
You bet. All right. We anticipate that update will be coming a short time from now. We'll be listening for that. Bill Daly, thank you very much.
Well, thanks, Bill.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Or
I'm gonna get a prototype.
The hardest thing.
Well, from reports and particularly our own correspondents, things are tightening around the man who they think is the assassin. They are trying to catch him for killing conservative icon Charlie Kirk at a college event in Utah yesterday. It's not still been 24 hours, and the FBI is moving quickly now with some details and evidence that they've picked up in the last hour or so. And it's revealing this morning that images of the shooter exist, and you can see those images on your screen right now. If anyone has any information on this person of interest, please contact the FBI. 1-800-CALL-FBI, and we'll get that up on all of our social platforms immediately. Authorities are saying they have been able to track the suspect's movements and have recovered the high-power rifle officials say they believe the shooter used in the attack. The FBI is confident it will be able to catch this person. Sources close to Fox News also confirm investigators are looking into what appears to be messages that are written both on the gun and the shell casings, recovered by authorities just in the last 35 minutes or so. Bill Malugin has that part of our story. The content of those messages, though, is still unclear. At least they have not revealed them to us in the wider media. This is Outnumbered. I'm Harris Faulkner, here with my co-hosts, Emily Compagno and Kaylee McEnany. Also joining us today, Laura Trump, host of My View with Laura Trump, and Lawrence Jones, co-host of Fox and Friends. First, let's go to CB Cotton and get the very latest at Utah Valley University. CB.
Hi, Harris. Well, multiple sources have told Fox News about the messages that appear to be left behind on both the ammunition and firearm recovered from the scene of Charlie Kirk's assassination. So far, the FBI, as you mentioned, has declined to comment on this. But what the agency is saying is that they've got lots of good video of the killer's path on this campus.
We have tracked his movements onto the campus, through the stairwells, up to the roof, across the roof to a shooting location. We do have good video footage of this individual. We are not going to release that at this time.
Agents say the shooter got on campus less than an hour before assassinating 31-year-old Charlie Kirk, who was visiting Utah Valley University in
All right. That's what we were seeing the other night when we were doing a live. And someone said, stop the video. And we did. And I'm like, I think that's a vent, because I had the Google map pulled up. I'm like, I think that's a vent or something that's on that roof. Because that's what Google map was showing, a bunch of vents and that cross thing. But here was the thing. Do we know that's him? They're saying it is him. But my question is if they tracked him coming in, I'm going to say it. I'm going to be the first one to say it. I know a lot of people are going to get upset. Would this have happened if they would have had 3 or 4 drones in the sky? No, they would have seen him. As soon as he got up on that roof, they would have seen him. And that's why when you're under power and you don't have enough manpower to cover certain areas, what do? You bring out the drones. It only takes one guy. He can operate that drone. One drone would have been able to see that guy on the roof. The drone would have went up probably 200-300 feet and sat there and looked down upon it would have had a full view of every roof around there. And they would have seen some movement on that roof, and that drone would have been there within seconds. And it would have been right in front of his face. And they could have used, our government is so good, they can use them drones and use them as a weapon, meaning crash right into you. And that's just my opinion.
Orem, which is about an hour away from Salt Lake City. The FBI says the gunman blended in well on campus and appears to be college-aged. Agents say he wore all-black tactical gear as he fired off the fatal shot from about 200 yards away towards the stage where Kirk had just started answering a question from someone in the crowd. After the shooting, the suspect ran off into a neighborhood, according to FBI agents who say they found a high-powered bolt-action rifle in a wooded area. Other clues were also left behind.
Investigators have also collected footwear impression, a palm print, and forearm imprints for analysis.
The FBI is also asking for anyone with photos or videos to please share those with the agency. And moments ago, the FBI also released a new photo saying this could be a person of interest in this case. I know our show producers are going to work diligently to share that image with our viewers. Harris, back over to you.
Yeah, and we are putting up that image of the person of interest, CB, right now, and we will continue to do that. They are looking for the public's help now. They have obviously tightened their net around this suspect, and the public can be of immediate help just in cutting the timeline. They are going to get this guy. 800 call FBI, and the image that you want to keep, that we'll keep up on the screen as long as possible, is there too. We're also, and I'm kind of saying this to you, but also asking our team wider who's listening to flood our social media with this. All platforms are outnumbered right now as well. Lawrence, well, none of us slept last night, but you were up on the air earlier than anybody here on the couch. And this day has gone rapidly different than maybe some people had thought. And the
more I'm looking at that, I'm just going to say, I'm not saying 100% positive here, but the same guy might have did the murder, the killing at the high school. I know it sounds crazy. That happened in Colorado. This happened in Utah, but it's a hop, skip, and a jump away. And that makes sense. Mr. JLR was talking about that the other day. He was talking about that. Well, where could the guy be? Well, depending on how much time and what kind of things he had, whether a vehicle, bicycle, whatever. Yeah, he could be pretty far away. It's possible. It does look a little bit like the kid that they're showing now in the one, but I'm just saying, is it possible the same person pulled off two, or the same people that were involved? Is one shooting a diversion away from the other one? I don't know. Could it be the same guy, same kid? Maybe. I think they know. I think the government knows exactly who he is. And folks, if you have footage out there and you don't think, well, maybe it ain't, maybe it is, I don't want to bother the government, send it in anyways. It'd be better for you to send it in and the government say, well, that ain't the guy, but thank you. And that's our problem. Our citizens don't get involved enough, and a lot of murders go by unsolved, where people actually seen or had footage of it, but they didn't want to get involved. Why? Well, because they didn't want retaliation from people. Right? You don't want to turn in a gang member or something like that, or a mafia guy or something, and the next thing you know, your whole family comes up to, hey, I understand 100%. I wouldn't get, I would think about it too if I had kids. I'm not going to lie. I probably would. I probably would. It's different than, your kid did something wrong and they're looking for your kid, compared to, someone else's kid did something and, and it's a gang member and they're the biggest gang in the world or whatever. And yikes. And the police can't protect you. I know they say they can, but with the world we live in today, they're crazy. Look at these dudes posting videos in Chicago. Do I believe they're that crazy, that badass? Yeah, I believe it. I'm from Chicago. I know they're crazy. I know they're badasses. I ain't dumb. As a civilian, yeah, they're badasses. They're a gang. They do damage. I don't know if it's too planned or anything, militarized or anything, but yeah, they're badasses. And a lot of people, I don't blame them. They're afraid. They say something, and the next thing you know, they come up dead. So yeah, it's and when you ain't got protection from your own country or your police department, then yeah, I can understand why a lot of these things go unsolved. I understand, 100%.
Very good way. We're getting more information. We might be close to getting the suspected assassin.
Well, earlier this morning, there was a lot of trepidation for me, particular, even though a lot of people that I know and love and respect work at the FBI, that we hadn't got a photo, because that's the first step right here in justice, is identifying who this person is so they can stand trial before the peers of this country with a jury. And now we have that photo. Our imagination, based on the person who they targeted, Charlie Kirk, and since he was given a political speech, and since they didn't fire at the crowd, but they fired directly at his head, we knew it was political. Now we got the shell casings and other ammo that have political messages there. So we're getting closer and closer. I just hope that we're all zooming in, all law enforcement. You got to get this guy. Charlie was a representation of a movement of young people in America. And I don't care if you agree with his politics or not. We can't have that in this country.
Part of the excitement too around Charlie, and I was sharing last hour, in the state of Arizona, he was being talked about in circles of people who were decades older than he. Can't wait till he becomes governor. Like, people saw the trajectory of this young man. But part of the conversation was, could he bring the youth vote? Because young people may get activated and motivated.
See, he was running for governor. He was running for, I thought he was already a high up politician or something in Arizona. Let me see what Michigan's saying. Free is a big problem for non-believers. Yeah. Well, keep looking for him. You're right, Mid-Michigan. He could have jumped on a plane and took off. Debbie's right. She was saying, well, he probably jumped in the car. He had a car parked around there. And it's very possible. There's a lot of cars around there in the parking lot. And it's also possible he just walked on foot, dropped it, walked into that subdivision, might have knew someone or just hunkered down until dark and then moved. Possible. Jumped in a car parked there, but anything is possible. They got to get him. And this might have been a killing spree. There might have been other murders he's done. There might have been other things he's done. Do you think it's possible he did both murders? The same guy do both murders? And then killed himself? Probably highly probable or non-probable, but possibly. In Jesus' name, heal us all. All glory goes to God, King of Kings, and demonic. It could. What was it? Political, or was it the devil people that he's been fighting in the streets? That he's been debating against. Looks kind of smoky out again today. A little bit hazy. I think there's many more involved. Yeah, there probably is. Yeah, the crazy thing is, what would make a kid this young do that? Oh, they're saying he was a transgender. He wanted to be a woman or man, a woman, a man, whatever it may be. And then Charlie agreed that it's not right. And it was a mental illness. And was it the devil, people, that he was going up against, saying Jesus is the way? We're not sure. They're saying it's political because of the writing on the thing, but was it made to be political and it really was this devil stuff? I don't know. Was he possessed? I don't know. What are we to believe in, really? I mean, if the Bible speaks of demons possessing people and everything, well, maybe it's this demon possessing him and telling him he's really a woman and he's going to chop his penis off and get a vagina. Anything's possible. Mental illness, yeah, that's possible. But I have a mental illness. You don't see me wanting to be a woman. Are you kidding me? I thank God Almighty for creating women. But I'm a straight man, so I'm sorry. This is Satan's doing. Yeah, I would say so. It's not good. I'm feeling it too. They're probably doing it across the board in Michigan. They're probably doing the shootings. They're probably a whole bunch of them in dark rooms with pentagons and candles lit, and praying to the dark one, and they're ripping my guts out, and they're taking everything from me. They're putting me on like a jacket, walking around. Look at this new Johnny Kramer jacket I got. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. If I don't make it, it was nice knowing you, in Michigan. May the metal detectors always shine in your direction. May your batteries always be charged in your metal detector. May the gold always follow you, my friend.
But until they go to the polls, that's the big difference. And he apparently could do that.
Yeah, he did do that. I'll tell you, as the former RNC co-chair, we worked very closely with Turning Point USA. What Charlie was able to do is really miraculous. When you think about the fact that he didn't finish college, he dropped out of college, yet his goal was to mobilize these students to really change the tenor on college campuses. And he was able to do that. We saw a huge shift in young voters. This election in particular, especially with young men, Charlie played such a huge role in that. I don't think you can ever overstate it. I said this last night on Jesse's show, but I believe that Donald Trump probably wouldn't be president right now without the assistance of Charlie Kirk. What he has done and his legacy, I think, is even too big to comprehend right now. The void and the hole that will be left is enormous. And I'm just hopeful, as someone who cares about, this country and the forward progress of this country, that someone is able to pick up where Charlie left off. Turning Point USA is such an important organization. I'm personally very grateful for everything he did, all the work he did. And you can't go to one of those events without palpably taking in how impactful Charlie Kirk was.
Yeah, I want to get your response in part to what Lara is saying, because what she's talking about is more than a movement. It's a complete political shift. If you get a whole new generation of voters who have the kind of bravery to speak out that he embodied.
Yeah, Laura saw it firsthand at the RNC.
All right, let's take a look here. Let's take a look at something else real quick. So he's one state over. Here is the university, and here's Colorado right here. So is it possible for someone to go here to here or here to here? You know, he does this, he goes here, comes to Colorado, bop, 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 and then offs himself. And I don't know. I have no idea. It's not that far away. He's right here in Salt Lake. Crazy if you ask me, but all right, folks, I'm going to end this thing. It was nice hanging out with you. Let me see what's going on. I haven't gotten out much this year. Been sick. Well, we hope you get better. We all haven't been feeling good. I imagine it's the smoke that's in the air, the carbon monoxide from all these fires, the volcanoes, all the dust. Probably been breathing that in. The food, everything. It's just stay alive, Mid-Michigan. That's all you could do. In Jesus' name, may the Lord protect us all. In Jesus' name, have mercy on us and heal us in Jesus' name, amen. And that's all we could do is try and stay alive. Christmas is right around the corner. I better start saving money so I can send some money. You always feel guilty, but I'll send money. And money don't fix the problems. A couple $100, birthday or Christmas or whatever. It don't. Well, sure. I mean, I probably enjoy it, but it don't fix the trouble in within, right? Who knows? I want you folks to be safe. God bless. Keep your doors locked at night, your windows at night. Keep an eye on your kids. Stay home if you can. You don't have to be a homebody. But in certain situations like this, when there's a national disaster, a severe storm, the police are looking for someone within the neighborhood, I always obey the law. COVID lockdown, I obeyed the law. I stayed in if I did have to go out, I had a mask on. If the police come over the news or whatever, and we're looking, we're in your neighborhood, lock your doors, lock your windows, and we're walking around the neighborhood and stuff looking for someone. Abide by the laws. It's not like they're forcing you. It's like a team. How can we help them if they won't? If they can't help us, how we help? Or whatever that saying is. No one's going to say anything until it happens to them, until they lose a house, until they lose a family member, until their car gets stolen, till their stuff gets stolen, right? And then you go to a garage sale, and you buy it back. You're like, wait a minute, didn't I already own one of these? That's how good they are. Yeah, you take care too, Mid-Michigan. I'll see you later. I'm wrapping this up. God bless. I'll see you later. Stay healthy. In Jesus' name, amen. All glory to God. I'll be back later.